Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is the weekly Wednesday Wargaming questions and answers. It's an off-the-cuff video, guys. What that means is I record and upload. There is no fancy editing skills. You won't see my intro symbol at the beginning. There is a transition button, so if there's noise outside of my control, I can stop filming and wait for it to pass. This could be rain, it could be cows out the back of the farm behind there. It could be people in the yard, anything. These weekly Wednesdays are essentially a Q&A. You guys ask me questions and I answer them. They are essentially 99% model focused and it is 99% GW stuff, of which is 99% 40k, because 40k is just crazy at the moment. It's been crazy for the last good while. There is terrain questions from time to time, and sometimes information about myself and what's going on around the workshop. And some of you look tuning and go, hold on, yes, I've had a tidy up. Thought it was about time to stop being lazy. And we have a weekly vote. Now, the weekly vote is I show you a host of models, and then you comment below and what you want me to paint for my next Monday's painting video. There's been a slight little change on that, which I'm going to talk about when it comes to that. I've only got a few questions this week, so it's going to be a quick video. How many tools like glue and sanding sponge and stuff like that do you go through on a weekly, monthly basis? Now, plastic glue, I would probably say every 6 weeks I need a new one. It could be 5 weeks, it could be 4 weeks, you know, but somewhere in that sort of area. Now, I usually have two. I usually have one in the workshop, which I use for Let's Build videos, and I actually have another one, which is this one from the house, because the other one I had to run out when I was building the Hammerfell bunker, for when I'm building stuff off camera. So I've got, like, for example, 2 boxes of Death Guard Plague Marines here. I've also got Plague Marines in the Combat Patrol box. So if I build the ones in the Combat Patrol box on camera to show you guys how to do it, I don't need to do these ones on camera, so I do them off camera. And what I do is, when I'm cooking little one's dinner, I'll sit there and clean a few bits, and you know, if there's a piece in the oven or something, you know, something that needs to be cooked, I'm sitting there cleaning a few bits, gluing a few bits, so I don't wander away and forget about dinner and burn it. That's the essential reason why I do it, but also, like, I'm doing that as well, so it's 2 birds with 1 stone. In terms of sanding sponge, I go through this so quickly. I go through this. This is this is sanding block, which is foam with sandpaper around it. Now you do get sanding block. You do get sanding sponge. The sponge is the same, but the bit in the middle is a solid foam. It's like really spongy, like a dishcloth sponge. But you can see how how much abuse these take. But you do go through these very quickly. This was used on, this is a coarse one, okay, or a medium one. I think it's a medium one actually. This is used on the Hammerfell bunker, and the other Let's Build I did, that's going to be going up tomorrow, which is a Chaos Space Marine Land Raider. So I built a Hammerfell bunker and a Chaos Space Marine Land Raider. With that said, since last week's Weekly Wednesday, I've done a mad Let's Build session. So I built, did I build the Flamers last week? After the Weekly Wednesday, I think I did. Then I built the Contemptor Dreadnought, the Jackals, Hammerfell bunker, and the Chaos Space Marine Land Raider. But the Land Raider dual build. So the way it is at the moment, if you looked at it, it's a Space Marine Land Raider. All I need to do is decide what Chaos spots I'm putting on, and go through my bits trays and find bits I want to add to them as well, Chaos stuff. So that's what that is, and that's where I leave the video at. So it's just ready for me to add stuff to it, and you won't see what I add to it until it goes into the vote, which could be probably next week or something like that. But see, I have, because I've got a mad one, you know, over last week, I have used a lot of sanding sponge. Primarily this one big block. That's one pack of sanding block. It's one whole, but that's still good. You can see where it's been sanded and stuff. There's still all these areas that can be used, so they're still good. And one thing I like about this sanding block, when I'm using it, it starts falling apart when it's used. So but I do go through a lot. I would probably go through spray, black spray. I've got 2 here now. One's half full, one's a brand new can. I probably go through that probably once. I probably go through maybe 2 months. I go through a can, something like that. But I'm in the process of these 20 models need graveling. Let me gravel them. And there's 20 models here that have already been gravelled. I then give them, I might give 10 of them a spray down. And then tomorrow, the other 10 get a spray down. But those 20 that I gravelled, you know, today, like tomorrow, they're going to be moved over to ready to be sprayed. That way, so I'm not spending the whole day spraying everything. I'm just spraying bits and pieces. Gracia I seem to go through a lot, because Gracia doesn't seem, the spray can of Gracia does not seem to be as full as much as the Chaos Black. I don't know, even weight wise it feels different. In terms of brushes, so I'll go and buy a pack of brushes like this brush here. It's a flat brush, which is nice, yeah, but I got a pack of these. They're actually over there. It's a pack of 30, it says on there. And they're different size bristles and everything else. That was €11.99, €11.99 for a pack of 30. And I'll use that for like big areas and trying to put base colours on and stuff like that. In terms of good brushes, I try and use the brush as long as I can. This is one nice brush I was using, but it's just gone. You can see that. See the little bits hanging off of it. I'll see some might. See the little bits hanging off the side there, and it's like a rock. So now this brush would either become a PVA glue brush to do base, or it'll be one to take paint out of the pot to put onto wet palette. Because at the moment, this is just despicable. This is the one I use. Now you can see the state of that. That's like a rock. It's totally like a rock. But that one won't last much longer. I said, and that one takes place. So I don't go through brushes as much. I don't want to go and spend 10, 15, 20 quid on brushes. With that said, the wife did buy me a pack of brushes, and I can't even see that brush now. Oh, there is. And it's a pack of brushes, and that's one brush. You can see the top of it starting to fade away a bit. It's a little white fluff on the top of it. There's actually bristles that are starting to fade away. But there's another 4 or 5 in that box. I've had that for over a year now, and I use that for fine work. Bottling on a bit too much there. To remind everyone, now those of you already commented and coming for the giveaway, don't panic because your names are in the hat. There's no panic there. But I have Roberta Gulliman, the Primarch of the Ultramarine Chapter of Space Marines. It's a fantastic model to give away because it's come in the Imperial magazine and it's an Ultramarine model and it's of no benefit to me. If I kept it, I would glue it, paint it eventually, and it would just sit somewhere in a box and then eventually go into a glass cabinet, and I won't touch it again. So if you want to win that, chuck on below to say you subscribe to the channel, because you've seen this for the first time. Tell me you subscribe to the channel and you're interested in the giveaway, okay? And that'll be that. You'll be in for the draw. The 1st or the 2nd of September is when I'm going to draw the name out of the hat, depending on what I've got going on. Which leads me to another question I have. If you're watching your channel and you have lots of Imperial magazine videos on the weekly Wednesdays, but you've stopped for a while, why have you stopped them? It's a simple answer for the question. The reason I stopped showing the Imperial magazine, there's 2 reasons. The first one is because most of the stuff in there now, rules wise and everything else, has changed because we're going to 10th edition, and some of the fluff has changed because they've changed the narrative to make it fit into what they want for 10th edition. The second thing is there was an issue, and all my Irish viewers will know this, that I was getting from magazine. There was an issue with the company taking the money from our accounts. For whatever reason, our bank accounts were stopping them from taking it, and even though you set up direct debit and all that sort of stuff. So now I have to phone them when it arrives up and then pay for it online, pay for it over the phone, which is cool. But it got to a point where I was like 3 months behind, And then I got a letter from them saying, oh, you owe us, you know, €90. I was like, what's going on here? So I phoned them up, and that's, you know, they told me. So now I'm actually issues ahead. So the next lot comes here is already paid for, which is fantastic. But there is some amount of models there. Holy shit! And the next 10, because issue 80s are finished now. So it's finished issue 80, but there's 10 more issues. Well, the first two I think is Gilliman. There's the Illuminar Cesar, or Luminar, whatever his name is in there, the Necron guy. I've already built him on the channel and painted him up. There's a Redemptor Dreadnought. There's, oh my, there's a few other bits and pieces there that are just like, wow. I think the sisters in the Paragon Warsuits, there's 3 of those in there as well, which is €50 or €60 if you went to try and bought them. So I've got 6 here plus 3 from the Premier magazines. That's 9 Paragon Warsuits I have. I need to get a move on these sisters, so I really do. Anyway, I'm going to bring you down and show you the vote now, guys. Now, how does this work? I show you a host of models, and you vote on what you want me to pay for next Monday's painting video. You don't have one vote. You can vote for X, Y, and Z. You can say, I vote for any of the Space Marines, or any of the Chaos Space Marines, or anything like that. There is also, you can also vote for the creator choice, which will be, if that wins, that'll be me picking a model up and painting it, whatever one I decide. Or you can vote for the wild card. Now, the wild card is, you'll find out if it wins. What I've done now, because last Monday's painting video just gone, it was the Zone Tropes that won. And I actually love painting. I'm actually getting really quick at painting the Tyranids now, which I'm really happy with. And contrast paint is it's just godsend. Actually, whoever come up with that idea and that concept, give themselves a pat on the back, because it's absolutely. I've got 80 termagants to paint. Contrast paint is just going to wipe out so many of them so quickly. But anyway, what I've decided to do, because the Tyranids won last week, or this, you know, this Monday's painting video, I've taken all Tyranids out of the vote for this week. So let's say, for example, Space Marines won this week, then next week all Space Marines will be taken out of the vote. So otherwise it's something different. Otherwise it's just the same faction every week. So I'm going to bring you down and show you the vote models. You vote by checking comment below, like I said, and I'll look at the votes at 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon, and whoever's won, then that's, you know, it's like getting prepped up. In the event of a tie, I do a dice roll. So it's always out of my hands. It's always in your hands, or a dice roll. Yeah. So I'm going to bring down and show you models now, guys. Of course, we have the Hammerfell Bunker. Of course, it's a beast of a model. Now, if I tell you the name of what it is and you don't know how to spell it, or you know, you don't quite catch the name, just give me a description in your vote and I'll know what it is. I've left the car in there this week. But with that said, I'll probably paint the car and all the other little bits of terrain, not the buildings, but just the other little silly bits of terrain for Marvel Crisis Protocol. We have the Contemptor Dreadnought. Absolutely fantastic model. We have the Captain from the 9th edition Dominus box, who's actually, I think he's been released on his own now. This weekend, actually. We have a Night Goblin Shaman. We have the Blade Guard Ancient. We have the Jackals. There's 10 of them in unit. We have the Dark Apostle, or Posite, or whatever it's called. We have a Triarch Stalker. We have Chaos Legionaries. There's actually 10 of these guys made up, but now you buy them and you have them an army list of a unit of 5 or a unit of 10. So it's pretty much the same way as before, but it's just I can get away painting 5 of them if I need to. Unfortunately, Flamers, Asmodee. I've left Spider-Man in there this week. Again, if Marvel Crisis Protocol wins this week, then next week there won't be no Marvel Crisis Protocol in the vote. We have the 8-bound. We have the Venom Crawler. We have the Avatar of Kaheen. We have the Necron Scorpio Destroyer Lord. We have the Skaven Plague Priest character, I can't remember what he's called. We have the Lieutenant from the Leviathan box. We have the Biologist from the Leviathan box. And we have Hannah Banshees. Right, so like I said, check comment below what you vote for. I hope that there's loads of votes, because I love it when there's loads of votes and I'm like, oh, I have to go through and tally everything up. I absolutely love it. Don't look at it and go, oh, I'm not going to vote for this because no one else wants. You vote for whatever you want to vote. Okay, everything has to be painted. It has to get painted. And the desk is actually a mess again, but that's a job for me to do another day, probably tomorrow. There we go. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything. If you have any questions for me, chuck a comment below. I'll answer the question straight away if you need an answer, and I'll address it next week anyway, just for everyone else. If you have a question for me, you don't want to chuck it below because you think, oh, that's a silly question. There is no silly questions. No silly questions at all. You can message me directly by going on to Unique Wargaming Terrain Facebook page. There's a messenger button there. You can click on that and you can via Messenger. You're talking to me via Messenger. Everyone smash the thumbs up button for me, so this will trigger YouTube to share the video on more people. If you're interested in the Gilliman giveaway, chuck a comment below on this video to let me know you subscribe to the channel and you're interested, and I'll chuck your name into the hat. Guys, until next time, thanks for watching. Take it easy.